Hello, this is Domenico with Easynomics, and today we're going to finish up a paper 3 question. This was part of a 5-part breakdown of a paper 3 exam type question for higher level students. The part 4 in this video series was basically covering this type of content. We are going through these series of questions. These are all linked below, and so we're going to start off with all of our illustrated curves within the model and do one final question just to really understand the average fixed cost curve and the marginal cost curve. So here we are illustrating our previous work. We did part 1, draw and label the marginal revenue curve for the Champions League final, and we know that the MR curve will equal 0, where total revenue is at maximum and where the PED value is unit elastic. It's equal to 1. And that's essentially the midpoint or the halfway point across the demand curve. So here we go from 0 to 160. Halfway is 80. So there we have our marginal revenue curve coming down. That's covered in the previous video. Then we went ahead and calculated the maximum revenue that could be earned from selling tickets. And where MR equals 0, total revenue is at max. So where MR equals 0, that is the rule for revenue maximization. At that point, total revenue will be at maximum, and there's a video linked below that goes over that in a lot of detail. So here we have 80,000 tickets being sold, and according to the demand curve, the price is 500. So 500 times 80,000 gives us the total revenue there. Part C explains that the fixed costs for the match have been calculated 12 million. So fixed costs are 12 million, and there are no variable costs. That is an important point. So as you take an exam, it's good that you kind of underline key points being made within the question. The fact that there's no variable costs, as we'll see, will impact our marginal cost curve. Calculate the average fixed cost per ticket at the quantity of output at revenue maximization. MR equals 0 at a quantity that's equal to 80,000. And we already covered that in a previous video, but we'll see this again in our workings down here. And assuming profit maximization, calculate profit to be made from the match. And this is a trick question. Profit maximization and revenue maximization will both be the same when the marginal cost curve is equal to 0. And it's equal to 0 by the fact that there's no variable costs. It is the variable cost curve that causes the marginal cost curve to rise up and have that upward sloping curve that was covered again in the previous video. So this video is going to focus on part D here. So it says here, determine the missing average fixed cost figures. Here we have the average fixed cost figures in table 1 and insert your answers. Draw and label the average fixed cost curve for the Champions League final match on figure 1. Okay, fine. So here, let's say on this test, we're given this table and we need to go ahead and fill in this information to get the points that we want. Total fixed costs are constant. Here it says that the fixed costs are 12 million regardless of the quantity of output. And so in another video, we go over this idea that in this case, let's assume that our fixed costs are $100. Maybe it's $100 for rent. Again, it doesn't matter if I produce 0 units, 1 unit, 2 units, or 10,000 units. Within that commercial space that I'm renting, the rent is constant. So here we have that total fixed cost curve being constant at the value of $100. So with that knowledge, we can just go ahead and fill in that the total fixed costs are constant. It's all $12 million. So I'm just going to put in 12 million for all of this. So it doesn't matter if it's 40,000 tickets being offered, if it's 80,000, 120,000, 160,000, it's all $12 million in fixed costs. 12 million, 12 million, again, 12 million. Fine. Determine the missing average fixed cost figures. So I'm going to have you pause the video and go ahead and calculate this. Calculate the average fixed costs for 40,000 tickets, 80,000, 120,000, 160,000. Go ahead and pause the video now. Okay, So now that you've worked through this, let's check your answers. First, we need to know that average fixed cost is a formula. You do not get a formula sheet on the exam. You have to know this. So it's a formula of total fixed costs divided by the quantity of output. So total fixed costs for the first unit is 12 million divided by 40,000 tickets. And that's going to equal $300 of costs on average being fixed per ticket at 300. So we'll go ahead and put that in, 300. Perfect. Let's move on to the next one. Let's have our total fixed cost of 12 million divided by a larger quantity of 80,000. So here we have 80,000 equal to 12 million divided by 80,000. That works out to $150 of fixed costs on average per ticket. So I'll put that in, 150. Then we'll move on, 12 million divided by 120,000 tickets. And the cost on average for those fixed costs is $100. So here we have 100. And then finally, 12 million divided by 160,000 tickets. And the cost on average for those fixed costs would be $75. Perfect. So I'm going to put that in, 75. Great. So I've done that part of the question. Determine the missing average fixed cost figures in table 1 and insert your answers. Done. Great. So now that you've checked your work, it says here, draw and label the average fixed cost curve for the Champions League final match. So you can go ahead and pause the video and think about where those points would be plotted and what do you notice about the average fixed cost curve. Go ahead and pause the video and try that now. Okay, so let's plot these points and draw the curve. Let's use a different color. Let's make it stand out. Let's use purple here. So here we have 40,000 tickets and the cost on average is 300. So I'm going to mark that point. I got that. Then we're going to look at 80,000 tickets. The cost on average is 150. There we go. Perfect. Here we have $100 at 120,000. 120,000 tickets. The cost on average for those fixed costs is 100. Plotted that point. Perfect. And then last, 160,000. Cost on average is 75, and that's approximately right about here. And we're going to go ahead and connect these points. So here we have there, and there, more or less. And I'm going to label that average fixed costs. Get rid of this. There's my average fixed cost curve. And so we see it's going downward, which makes sense. If we take a fixed value, total fixed cost being constant, divide it by a larger and larger and larger number, the average is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. So again, it's expected that the average fixed cost curve has this shape. It gets closer and closer and closer to zero as we produce more and more units of output. Effectively, the average fixed cost curve doesn't have any impact on the marginal cost curve. The marginal cost curve is upward sloping. So the average fixed cost curve is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. It can't theoretically be causing the MC curve to increase. The only thing that's causing the marginal cost curve to increase are changes in variable costs. So in this graph, we see that if variable costs are rising as we increase output and we incur more labor costs, capital costs, land costs, those variable costs as they increase cause the total cost curve to increase, which causes the marginal cost curve to increase. The additional quantity of output is increasing due to the increasing marginal costs of production. We also notice that the distance between the average total cost curve and the average variable cost curve is the value of the distance between the average fixed cost curve and the x-axis. So as the FC, the average fixed cost curve, gets closer to the x-axis, we see that the average variable cost curve gets closer and closer towards the average total cost curve. All of this is covered in this video, which I'll have linked below. Okay, so we see that the average fixed cost curve is going down, down, down. Let's end this with this last point. What would the marginal cost curve be? Again, let's emphasize that the marginal costs of production, the slope of the supply curve, is essentially looking at the change in the total costs of production divided by the change in the quantity of output. But since fixed costs have no impact on the change in total cost because they're constant, this is essentially equal to the change in the variable costs. So the MC curve is effectively the change in total variable costs divided by the change in the quantity of output. But since there are no variable costs, then the marginal cost curve should be zero. Marginal costs being equal to the change in total variable costs divided by the change in the quantity of output. Here, there are no variable costs, so this will be a value of 0 divided by any change in the quantity. It could be 40,000 tickets, 80,000, 120,000. It doesn't matter. 0 divided by any number will give us a value of 0. So the MC curve is equal to 0. So it's going to have a perfectly inelastic shape, which we've drawn here. Since the quantity of tickets being sold in this question is 80,000 tickets, the supply curve is going to be perfectly inelastic at that quantity. So here we have the supply curve, and so here we see that the supply curve equals the marginal cost curve, which is equal to 0. And essentially, if we look at the PES value, the price elasticity of supply, which is the change in the quantity supplied divided by any change in price, here we're going to see that there is no change in quantity. It's fixed at 80,000 tickets divided by any change in price. Can be $100, $1,000, doesn't matter. That's going to give us a PES value of 0 again. So the supply curve is 0. The PES value of that curve will be 0. Perfect. And so marginal costs here would be 0, 0, 0. And that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to comment those questions below. And don't forget to subscribe and to like. Thank you so much.